All right, we had some technical difficulties there. Had to start a new stream, hence the lack of intro. The intro, I shut down the stream instead of stopping the intro. Technical issues. So, I hope you find me well. It's always an awkward start. I'm going to open up the Discord and let everyone know, because this is the call-in show. And the call-in show is for me to kind of shut up for a little bit and let you guys talk. So, yeah. Bear with me, anyways. If you're live, let me take a drink as well. Everything's going wrong. I love going live. I love going solo. The boys are busy. I am going to invite everyone into the Discord. Here we go. If you are part of the Discord, you would know what I'm talking about. I'm going to bring up, actually, while we're doing this this nonsense intro stuff, I'm going to give you the little QR code here for everyone to scan and get into the Discord. So, first and foremost, scan that code, get onto the socials. Everything's down in the description as well. Like, subscribe. And before we really get going with the call-in show, there are just a couple little things to talk about here, honestly. Just a couple news points, nothing big. And I'm just gonna waffle a little bit as I wait for the new stream to kind of just get a hold of everyone, if you will. Okay. So I'm gonna have to fix all of this. It's all a mess. All a mess. Guys, I'm sorry for this. This is what happens when they leave me alone. Leave me alone. No Dash, no Dave. Dave is at Spielberg, by the way. Austria. If you haven't seen the shorts yet. If you're into racing, man, it's just cool watching F3, then the F2, and the F1, even the Porsche series. You know, as as the things get faster, more down for. Okay, Jeff, we got Jeff. All right, so Jeff saw it. Awesome. I know Jeff wanted to get in here as well tonight, so that's awesome. I have to, man. See, I lost my thumbnail and everyone and everything. I lost everything doing this. It's an absolute disaster. So I am going to delete delete the one that didn't do anything. Jeff, I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna share it already. We're gonna get Jeff in here. Basically, the 2 points that I want to say today, and we will talk about it. This is up for you guys. Savona reassessed after a month. It's probably 6 to 8 weeks. It's a sprain. It's a bad sprain. Yeah, that's probably a couple months, honestly. There's the link. Here it is, everyone. Get in here for the call-in show. So, yet another defender out. And then the frozen players. And this is getting kind of pissy for me. Why? We spent money on these players. There is some sort of class in them. Yet we continue to just move on assets. First and foremost, Douglas Luiz. Why Douglas Luiz? He obviously still has something to offer. If you get the right price for him, but why is he frozen out of the team? I just don't get that. And then, okay, Timmy Weah. Why freezing him? I know you want to move him on. I know he said no to Newcastle. And now they're all of a sudden trying to play hardball with Timmy? And then Bangula, because it's all just Plus Valenza. Who else did we do that to? Sule, Hans, oh man. Just so many. There's quite a few. We got rid of the next gen. The next gen's gone. Jeff's going to be there in 3 minutes. Awesome. All right. So I'm waffling a little bit because once again I screwed up. I shut down the original stream. I've kind of got this going again in the background. I hate when I do this. Let me just delete my old messages and put in the new links. Oh man. Well, this is what happens when you suck, I suppose, right? So speaking of suck, this Juve team. How do we feel about it? And this is, in the comments, whether it's the live, the post game, either way. Because yesterday's turnout was actually pretty decent. But Fede, it was the one guy, Fede Chiesa, who also, his name, he's a Chiesa fan. He's also anti-Max. That kind of goes hand in hand. I get that. He was saying it's just the game doesn't matter. It's a preseason game. And I understand that sentiment. I kind of do. But I've been preaching for a couple of weeks now. A few. It's just we gotta show that we have something, that we're worth something. Don't necessarily expect to win. A loss in these circumstances, excuse me, against, teams that are technically better than you. You at least have to show up, right? You're not necessarily expect to win, but if you're going to lose gracefully, lose with some sort of fight. So yeah, we did get that last minute Dusan goal. At that point of the game, though, did it really matter? It was just to make the scoreline look less bad. It was just to let Dusan maybe hold on to a thread that he's still some sort of top striker. It's not good enough. And because I've been preaching that this needed to be the test, that we need to see something, not only from the players, but clearly from Tudor as well. Because on paper, this team really isn't that bad. It's a decent team. Certainly not better than City. But we should be up there. We should be up there fighting. Like, yeah, we popped these AL teams. So did City. We should at least be within a couple goals. At least. Here's Jeff. How's it going?
Oh, how's it going, buddy? It's been a hot minute, hasn't it, since I've gone here.
And you were at the game.
Yes. Oh my. Dude, it was like an absolute disaster. I don't know where to start. Like, the funniest part was, like, the moment I saw the starting 11, I'm thinking to myself, yeah, we're fucked. Like, no, I just, like, it wasn't trying to be pessimistic necessarily, but I just knew the players that we were dealing with, and then their starting lineup and what those guys could do, like Man City can do. You have, like, Rodri back. Like, come on, the guy won a Ballon d'Or. And then you have Bernardo Silva. You have all these, like, juggernauts at Man City. So I'm thinking, like, we got Lloyd Kelly, who can't pass the ball for crap. Savona is inexperienced. And honestly, I think he needs to get loaned. And then Kalulu, he was in his own little world, bro. Like, what are you going to do? I don't know what to say. Like,
nobody does.
It's a shame. It's a shame. But I felt like the moment I saw that lineup, I felt that we were just throwing that game away. Like, it was like, okay, I'm resting the players. I'm keeping Thuram and Cambias off of a yellows and all this crap, and then preparing for Real Madrid. Like, that's basically what I saw. We won the 2 games. We're on to the next round. Okay, I'm just going to put the other guys out of there. And I didn't like that because I wanted to see Yildiz play more, but I have a lot of stories. These 3 days have been very different. I got to meet players. I got to meet the players.
Nice.
Got to meet certain content creators.
Gonna name drop anything, or you're just
Beppe? Yeah, I got to meet him actually. Yeah, we actually did get to meet Beppe. We talked. Very nice guy. I know we all have our differences of opinion on what he thinks of how the squad should be built, but overall, it was a fun experience prior to the game. man, though that game to me, it was like I seen players that didn't want to be there. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, why would you put Kostic in? He hasn't played in a year. And then I mean, here's the thing: if you're gonna play Kostic, you might as well play Rugani.
May as well.
Yeah, it's like if you're gonna play Kostic out of all people, and I got nothing against the guy. I don't think he's the worst player on our team, but like at the same time, play a proper defender and not have that whole disaster like pouring upon us. And then also like not having Taraman is just that was bad.
The whole
There,
lineup, yeah,
yeah.
as you said, the whole lineup just was a head scratcher going into it. And I thought maybe
Mhm.
this is how I saw it, anyways, was that okay? He's putting a fairly physical lineup out there. Everyone except maybe Thuram,
Right.
Thuram over McKennie, but McKennie's still no slouch, really. So I'm like, okay, he's just putting something out physical. He's going to low block. It's going to be terror ball. And it lasted 8.5 minutes.
The problem is I'm okay. Like I understand Dash's like massive criticisms towards Tudor, especially the substitutions. We can agree to that. My only issue is when he talks about the like low block and the defensive approach. I personally agree with it. The issue is we don't have the guys for it. At least the defenders, the back three. Like I think this whole 5 years of Juventus has been nothing but cleaning up, creating more messes, and then cleaning up the previous messes from the previous administrations, coming from Paratici, from Arrivabene to Giuntoli. It's been like one crap after another, and I feel like it's there's so much to talk about, like starting from Dushan, starting from our back three, starting from the coaches we pick. It goes like it's much deeper for me. It's not just Tudor. Like I can blame him to the point he did in the end inherit Malta's team, despite whether he's an elite coach or not. So it's just so many things, like so many players that we have that don't fit the system, and then on the other end, it's like some do. It's like a mess. It's like like an untied shoelace. It's like we're like literally like it's a shoelace so untied that it's just a pain in the ass to try to like decipher the whole thing.
It's and that's kind of what I was saying yesterday. Like it's like an enigma. Like it's hard to figure out what these guys are trying to. What are they doing? Nobody knows. And we're here trying to figure things out. And then you get links with Jadon Sancho, for instance.
Originally, okay, under Thiago Motta, since we were like utilizing a wing, like we were playing with wingers, I had no
Mhm.
issue with bringing him in.
It made more sense.
Yeah. And it's like, it made sense, but like under Tudor, the problem is Sancho doesn't run a lot, doesn't track back. And it's the same thing with Dushan.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same issue with Dushan. They don't track back. They don't run a lot. Like Tudor wants guys that can run back and forth, high press, physicality, vice versa. I don't think he's gonna fit that system. And I think the guy is like in over his head, just like Dushan. I'll give you an example because I don't know about you, but like when you watch a game live, it gives you a whole new perspective than when you're watching it on TV because you get to see every single player and how they approach the whole game. I'll give you this. I was watching Dushan. He scored the second goal.
Yeah.
He's celebrating. Like, what the fuck are you celebrating? We're getting our ass kicked. Like, I saw that and I'm like, bro, go to the net, pick up the ball. Like, there was things from players that I saw, like Yildiz, as soon as he got fouled, he picked up the ball and immediately, like, try to go for the next play. Dushan scores.
Nice.
He sits on his ass. I'm like, why? Right? I'm thinking to myself, like, what the hell are you doing? And then it was like Odzic picking up the ball and then starting the game.
Yeah.
This is like the attitude. This is the problem I have with Dushan. It's his attitude. Like he's not. I don't want him in the club. And okay, and to like going deeper with Dushan, I blame Arrivabene. like the previous administration. That
absolutely.
thing, dude, that thing caused the chain reaction between him, Dybala, and Chiesa. Because what happened was at the end, he got a huge salary. Other players saw how the other previous administration caved in, and they're like, you know what? Why don't we try to finesse? Why don't we try to make more money?
Oh,
And
of
then what
course.
happened with Dybala? He wanted more money. They said no. He left. Obviously, the agent was an idiot. And then same thing with Chiesa. They said no, and then they tried to do that with Gintoli, and Gintoli was like, "No, fuck off." So for me, it was like that whole thing with Duchamp getting that huge contract, like literally snowballed like mountains of problems. So that part, he feels entitled, and I can't even like as much as I'm angry at him, I can't blame him because he's in the right situation in himself. He doesn't have to put in the work, and he can collect that one final 12 million euros, and then he can just dip. Like he's in no obligation because we screwed up. That is our mistake. The same thing with Paratici with Arthur, and then with Giuntoli, Coop Miners, and Douglas Luiz. I'm gonna give it a pass. I thought that was a good deal, regardless. I had cold feet on him. I thought it was a good deal. But like all these like mounting problems, starting from our top, like from all this administration is going to cause us problems. And I don't know about even how Kamoli is going to necessarily how is he going to solve it? Because this Moneyball approach, to some degree, I like, but at the same time, data and statistics. I was telling this to my friends. It's one thing to look at numbers; it's another thing to interpret. And I think my approach, if I were to see it, maybe I'm a dumbass, right? So let's call it for what it is. I'm not the smart. I'm not going to say I know everything. I'm just saying if I were to take this approach, yes, I would look at statistics, but I would also look at how the player's attitude, his approach to like how he is. Is he mature? And one system that he play under previous teams, and does he fit that set system? Again, that is my meaning of interpreting data under Kamoli. So I don't know how is he going to approach this. Plus, we don't have a sporting director.
So it's interesting you said that because part of Moneyball, Billy Bean, the guy that kind of created Moneyball in the 2000s, and this is baseball, which is a lot easier to analyze with the stats.
Right.
Him and his scouts, they looked at the data. Absolutely. They looked at the numbers. But then they also had a conversation of, okay, has this guy gotten in trouble? What's his mentality? Is he going to be able to be a professional baseballer?
Yeah.
And, you can look at the data, you can look at the price, and then Jadon Sancho shows up on your spreadsheet. Okay, but now you have to have that conversation. Like, who is this person actually? And is that mentality going to fit into your system? And I don't know if that part is happening.
I don't know because, okay, so all I know about Sancho is he does well in Germany, specifically for Dortmund. That's it. That's the best place. Every time he stepped into Dortmund, he's made an impact. And that's another thing. But like, yeah, I'll even look into the guy Trem's comment. The thing is with like Kamoli, when I hear, okay, I want to do this approach, and then you're telling me, oh, I'm going to go for Victor Jokeres. I don't know if it's him, but the reports, which can be bullshit, I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, yeah, Jokeres played well in Portugal, and he did it for 2 seasons. That's all I know. But I don't know how he's going to do anywhere else. Like, in 80 million, you're out of your fucking mind. Dude, 80 million?
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
That's, that absolutely not. Like, I don't care. I don't care if it's 2 seasons at Portugal, like Sporting. I don't care. Like, yeah, it's great. He did well in Champions League. Awesome. But not for 80. The best I can do, my opinion, 45 to 50. But that's my only risk I would take. I get it. He's an up-and-coming guy. But that's it. Same thing with Victor Osimhen. Great striker, right? He had a good season at Napoli under Spalletti on their first season. He was okay in the second season afterwards. And now he's in he went to the Turkish league, which he did well. Like, give it for what it is. At the same time, it's like, You want 80 million? The guy was playing. He was playing in a lower tier league. Like, cut us a break.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, even if it was 60 million, right? Like, it's still a lot of money.
that's still a lot.
And to piggyback still on Trem's comment here, right? Like,
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like you say, he meets with potential signing, tries to get a feel for them. I'm still not confident. Whatever he is doing, 'cause I'm not saying he's sitting there doing nothing. He's clearly doing something, but I'm not understanding his methods. Like, if we continue to get linked with somebody like Sancho, who we know, like when we're trying to get rid of wingers, because we don't play with wings.
Right.
I mean, we're getting rid of Bangula because it's pure plus Valenza. How about you just keep him if you're a numbers guy?
Personally, like with Mbangula, for me, I'm not saying he's the greatest thing since, like, since Swiss cheese, or like he's gonna be the superstar or megastar, but he has potential. I do think he's got it. He's got some potential.
You don't have to spend.
You can either keep him, work with him. If Tudor doesn't want him, I would just keep him on a dry loan, have him gain experience with like a mid-table City A club, like, or any other place. Even like if Nottingham Forest wanted him, at least do it on a dry loan or on a loan system where he gets better, he gets some experience, and from there you kind of like increase his value, kind of like what we did with I forgot what was his name at Roma. I forgot already. I'm bad with names. The Argentinian Sule, yeah, Nicolas Sule. Like we literally took him to Frosinone. He did well. He did solid. Wasn't, I'm not saying he was Musiala, but at the same time, he did well. And then his value increased. And when we sold him to Roma, we can do that with Mbangula. I just think $8 million is insane. Like, I'm not doing that. Especially,
way too low.
Especially nowadays where like the market is so overinflated. It's completely overinflated to the point where I'm seeing Renato Vega say, "Oh, I want 50 million for him." Chelsea's requesting 50 million. That's insane. Like, if they're willing to do that, then we might as well do the same.
Well, the market's insane, and that's kind of the point, right? That the market is this. I mean, 25 million. Go back to Sancho, 25 million plus. He makes 6.1, give or take, million euros, slightly over that.
Right. Yeah, no, we're not paying. We're not going to pay his service. We're not paying his services. He's not serving anything for 25 million. You're out of your mind. I don't care what Chelsea and the rest of the other clubs. If you want to play European football and you're doing bad at your previous club, take a pay cut. If not, go to Saudi. You don't got much options. Same thing with Duchamp. You want to go to another club, take a fucking pay cut, shut the fuck up, or go to
Chiesa. I mean, look at Chiesa now, right?
Yeah, no, because like, listen, I'm not saying that these players may not be capable and they may not do well, but they need to mature. And I don't know what it is. Like, bro, like, they're like agents need to kind of keep them at like reality. Sometimes they can't glaze them. Like, you can only squeeze so much out of something. You can't necessarily, I would say, you can't necessarily like hype up the player to the point where you're only going to get like 6 million salary. Like, yeah, you went to Liverpool for 7 million, but you screwed up your legacy.
Yeah.
So it's stupid to me. I find it like idiotic. But that's the thing with Kamoli. Kamoli is on a tie. He's like on a complete knot. Like, it's like he's inherited mess. And he doesn't know where to start, I think. That's literally what I'm seeing, like what I'm figuring out. He's like, oh, I got to get a sporting director. Oh, I got to get a striker. Oh, I got to get a defender. Like, he doesn't know where to start. And it's like, he doesn't know where do we prioritize?
And as we've seen probably with Gentoli as well, you come into Juve and all of a sudden nobody wants to deal with you, give you, like, within Italy especially, they don't want to talk to you. We got Eddie coming in. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah,
you were also at a game, weren't you?
Yeah, the one in Philly, the Wydad match. It was pretty exciting, honestly. I mean,
nice.
Particularly for the Wydad fans, they really came out in full force. They actually had 2 matches in Philly, and the first match against Man City, they literally marched 5 miles all the way from City Hall down to the stadium with drones, flares, police escorts. Yeah, they definitely came out in full force.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm honored. I have two guys that have been to the games here the past couple weeks. That's cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean the game, like I said, it was a different experience. But I got to see the B squad, C squad, whatever you want to call it. And
I call that the draw squad. I honestly believe too. It was just hoping to sit back and get a draw and we win the group. It didn't look like he was trying to win the match, honestly. And who knows if we would have won, the top of the group. Who knows what Real Madrid might have done? They might have actually intentionally lost that match so that they could face a weaker opponent. So you never know what could have happened there. So I really think that you can't put the blame on Tudor too much because this isn't his team. This is still Moda and Allegri's squad, and except for Loca, Thuram, Cambiasu, obviously Yildiz, the rest of the guys they could all really go. I really don't see the point in keeping these guys around. We're being held hostage now yet again by Weah, just like we were with his counterpart McKennie and obviously Dusan previously. And this is my fear here. What happens if we spend the money on like someone like David right now, and Dusan doesn't want to go anywhere? You know what that means, right? We're going to wind up having to sell, a Cambiaso, a Locatelli, maybe even like someone who's a valuable player on the squad just to compensate for that because Dusan's holding us hostage. That's my biggest fear here.
We need a striker, though, regardless. It is something we need.
I understand that, but, we have to sell Dusan first or sell some players first. That way we have the revenue come in. And, we have players now who don't want to leave. Normally you would like to have players who don't want to leave. They want to play for Juve, but these guys are leaving just because, they don't accept the fact that they're not good. McKennie, he isn't a starter on a top 4 squad in any of the top 4 leagues. He's not a starter. He's a good utility player for half a season. Every second half of the season, he dies off. He's like nowhere to be found. He obviously has fitness issues, and we know why. The guy eats like a pig. He misses his American fried slop instead of the healthy cuisine of Italy. But we have to get rid of him. Obviously, Louis Kelly's here to stay. Honestly, I can't see any team wanting to get him. The back line was a mess yesterday. But can you really blame who was available? Gotti's still not 100%. Savona never played center back that often. He actually did a pretty good job. I really can't blame Savona on that. But Kelly and Kalulu, whatever happened there with him on that one play, I didn't even see like the replay on that. I missed like the first 20 something minutes of it because I was working, and I didn't even want to look at it after that. But
I wanted to reiterate one thing though. Like I think Savona could be a good defender, but I think he needs a lot more work. Like when I saw that back 3, dude, I'm gonna be honest, they like had no awareness. Like they didn't even know Haaland was behind. Like I remember, I don't know if it was Haaland's goal or Foden, but it was one of the goals where they came from the side and they passed it to Haaland, and he just like Savona was just like trying to mark him, and he just didn't even know he was as if he was behind. Like he just that
was actually Koopmeiners. Koopmeiners wasn't even looking. That ball sailed right by him.
Well, that too. That was also another one of those. But he had like 5 goals, so I didn't remember. I just remember that like our back 3 like had no awareness that like who to mark.
Coop was bad too.
Also, was just he could not defend for shit.
Yeah. Good. What was Koopmeiners doing back there anyway? That just shows you the incohesion with the squad when you throw out a bunch of guys who actually never really played together.
And on top of that, to add into it, do Koopmeiners, like, despite of the goal, like, okay, that was a nice little counter he did there with the goal. He's flat-footed as fuck. My goodness.
Yeah. He is slow.
Dude, seeing him live, I'm like, what the hell? Like, you need to be on your toes and ready to attack. This guy was flat-footed. McKennie, you know what, dude? For all the crap he gets, he does put in the effort. I don't care. I'm not saying he's our best player, but he definitely puts in the effort. I don't mind. Like if it's a good price, we can sell him, but I'll keep him personally. For me, McKennie actually puts in the effort. I could put him as like a wingback in the wingback position and have like Thuram and Locatelli play the pivot roles.
Well, we're not going to sell him. He's obviously here to stay. They're talking about contract renewal. And who's really going to buy him at this point? So, I mean, for that, but, just don't play him often because he wears out. You need a player of, his, Swiss Army knife whole situation, for the whole season, not just the first 20 matches, and then he disappears. I mean, he hasn't been impressive the last 3 matches. Yeah, he does run, but then once he gets the ball, he does nothing.
The thing is I thought also with McKennie, he played a lot of games. Some of those games that should have been with Douglas Luiz, that he should have taken the spot for McKennie. Some of those minutes, like McKennie overplayed, overcompensated for the minutes that Luiz should have played. And that's also one factor. Like he got played a lot last season. We got to put that into consideration. There's a lot, bro. Like, and on top of that with Tudor, I've given Tudor slack, but that post conference match, what he said about like, oh, we need $200 million and all that, I think that's a bunch of bullshit. Like I didn't like that. Okay, that might have been true. I just wouldn't have said it on live TV. Like I would have kept my mouth shut on that.
We spent $200 million last year, and what happened with that? So
no. Hold
it's
on.
not the money; it's the quality.
Hold on. Let me fix that because you didn't say that. He passively said, "Well, we just need to be at full strength, and it's hard to go up against a team that spent $100 million." No, that's pathetic. That is the worst. That is the epitome of mediocrity. The epitome of what we are right now.
Yeah, I agree. And the thing is, to add into what Dash is saying, look at Manchester United. They got a boatload of money. They had Ten Hag for 3 years. They spent boatload of money. And what the fuck did they do?
Well, how do you explain all the
money has nothing to do with the fact that he could not set this team up correctly. You pick the slowest guys against a team that does a single press and then a double press after they lose possession. The fact that you put in your slowest guys, your stupidest guys, and the fact that you couldn't even teach them how to low block when you've been a center back for 9 years is the epitome of why I did not want this guy. I did not like this guy. Even the first 2 games, you could see the defense get diced up. The only difference is they had finishers on City and they didn't have finishers the other 2 games. This was literally the same thing we saw the other games. The only difference is we actually played against defenders and people that would press you instead of guys that are going to be going at, their dad's store next weekend. This is literally bread and butter, what you saw against Bologna, what you saw against Lazio, what you saw against Roma. No difference. Yeah. And the fact that they gave this guy an additional year because he makes you feel good, that is the epitome of mediocrity.
That's like marrying the stripper.
It is.
I think also to add into that, I think the whole signing a whole year, I think Comoli didn't know who to fucking hire. Like I feel like he just got hired.
Give him 2 years then.
Nobody wanted to come here.
And I don't know who's going to come.
Here's the issue with that, right? Because now I'm reading reports that Comoli watched the City game and now he understands what the gaps are.
You had to watch the City game?
You had to watch the City game?
Again, I don't know. Doing his homework then.
Apparently not. I guess he's too busy, getting Wagner and Beppe some screen time with a bunch of fans. But like out of now you could see it, dude. Any dude with decent knowledge could tell you the first 2 games what the issues were. But again, you're more focused on selling Mbangula for $8 million and Weah for absolutely peanuts. So it's like,
yeah.
I don't understand the logic that any of this is going on here.
Dude,
because and this is where I criticize the Juve content community, because it's like they're talking about this British kid that Knott's bought for $41 million. Like, dude, that kid played 37 games and Mbangula barely started 7. Like, Tudor effectively killed Mbangula because now you have no resale value because he hasn't played. Same thing for Weah. And then same thing goes for Douglas Luiz. You want to know what you should have did the first 2 games? You should have played Douglas Luiz. You should have played Coop Myers. Why is it that against Manchester City you decide to start Kostic, who hasn't played a game for Juve in 6 to 12 months? And this is okay. You start Dusan. Why? Because he scored a penalty?
Do you think Kamoli
What's the-
would listen to content creators, though? That's the question. Or that
No,
you
he
told
would-
me
no.
somebody?
No.
No.
Yeah.
If he did, he should be fired immediately.
I agree. Because I'm not saying I know everything about, like, you know, managing an entire club, especially like the top 3 Italian teams. That's why I'm just like, I think, you know what I think though, Dash? You know what it is? I think a lot of like sporting directors are probably like misunderstanding how bad the Italian league is, the whole like Italian infrastructure as a whole, how bad it is. And they're thinking, oh, I'm going to go to Juve. I'm going to have a boatload of money. I can sign like a lot of players. And I think they need to recognize the fact that, no, you can't do that. You're just like a league above a Lazio. And you're not having Nottingham Forest money or Man City money.
If that is the mindset or the idea he had coming in, he should lose his job immediately. Anyone with common sense can tell you right now the money in Italy is not good. The ability to purchase players are not good. Italian teams overinflate mediocre players, and that's the truth. So again, like for example, I look at that from that perspective. I think Kamoli is currently right now what he has demonstrated is he is above his head. I'm waiting for Skippy to show up in the chat in the comments to tell me how Tudor and Kamoli deserve some credence to the bullshit that we've had to put up with, but I don't think he's going to because he's just going to make excuses for him. No,
who's this Skippy guy?
This Skippy guy that commented that acted like a complete idiot. I'm just going to say it. The guy was an idiot trying to absolutely, oh, well, Tudor needs an actual preseason. He's got 6 months already. There is no need for a preseason. He's already been here. And again, that's my biggest issue that, well, hey, let's just sign Tudor until 27. Congratulations. He's probably not going to make it to Christmas because he's already busting out excuses of, well, Man City spent money and we haven't spent anything.
Listen, even if that was hypothetically true, you don't say that.
No.
It's so stupid.
Max never said that.
Well, Max, okay, first of all, Max knows how to be diplomatic. Max knows like what to say in public and what to say in private. There are things you can say in the locker room and there's things you can say in the press conference. You don't say that because you pretty much are saying, yeah, my players suck in front of live TV. You don't say that.
Look, and I saw a comment on the live stream that Dave was doing on Thursday, and someone's like, oh, come on, let's not glaze Max here. Max with a midfield trio of McKennie, Locatelli, and Rabiot went to 2 Coppa Italia finals.
Yeah.
With 2, you realize, again, Locatelli is not a ball-playing midfielder. He is the 4th best option on an actual good team. Locatelli is not good. The fact that Tudor played him and McKennie, 2 pivots that can't even move the ball, I could count with 0 hands the amount of proper passes Locatelli did against Man City. 0. The only penetrating ball I saw that was memorable was the Yildiz pass to Dusan. Nothing else.
Yeah, I think also that lineup, again, the moment I saw that lineup on the stage, I'm like telling to my buddies, I'm like, we're fucked. I knew it, like right off the bat.
It was embarrassing. I had people that were watching Juve for the first time, friends of mine, they're like, hey, how is an Italian team getting 5 sprayed on them? Remember, all the people like making fun of Inter for getting a 5-piece dropped on them? Guess what? We just did too. And this one was more. This is just as bad. This is just as bad.
Oh, I knew that. Like I knew for my case, like I already knew the back 3 was trash. I knew that right off the bat.
Everyone knew.
Let's not forget Holland didn't even play the first half.
Dude, you know what the crazy part was? When I was watching Holland play, like I saw a ball coming in from 20 yards, like in the air.
Nobody marked him.
He controlled the fuck out of that like it was nothing. If Dusan would have that happened to Dusan, he would have fucked up the first touch easily.
I'm just happy I got to see both Holland and Dusan fuck up on the same pitch in the same game. I've been waiting years for this.
I do not want to hear comparisons between them two. I don't want to hear a peep. Please do not do it. I hated that. I hated that. I'm like, bro, Holland's in a completely different level. I'm sorry. Like, get
But
that
he's
out
still
of your
highly overrated, in my opinion.
I think he's good. I'm not saying he's Messi Ronaldo,
No.
but I think for what he does, if he's there to score goals, to put goals in the back of the net, just a proper striker, yeah, he's competent. He's a competent number 9. That's what I think. He has a good team. He has a good team that facilitates the ball to him. Is he, like I said, is he Cristiano Ronaldo? Absolutely not. Is he a level is he a level below 2 from CR7? Yes. But he does the job.
Jeff, you just need a level where it's just 15 goals and 5 to 10 assists a season. That is all you need.
At this point, give me a Conte-like coach with Matri and Vucinic.
Look, I hate giving them credence, but like for example, Inter were smart. They started Esposito, young Italian striker, for the first 3 games. That's all you needed to do. I mean, especially like for example, players that you need minutes, like Mbangula, Douglas Luiz. First 2 games would have been a perfect opportunity to sell them because if they made great passes, it would make some better opportunities for their transfer value. But nope.
I'm confused. Is he trying to win this? What is he trying to do?
He doesn't think, Jeff. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Well, what you're saying is what I'm thinking is he's impulsive.
He's emotional. He's impulsive. He can't think things through. He doesn't have long-term strategic thinking in his lineups. He doesn't even understand game plays and how to pivot on game plays. It's just so stupid. Why would you have 2 non-ball playing pivots against a team that's a high press? And why would you have 3 of your slowest guys up top on a team that...
I said something, I was telling, how I was told Dave earlier in the stream, we started Kovacic, right? That never played. Why didn't we do that with Rugani?
He's not a two-door player.
How is he not, though? What is a two-door player?
Being a whiny bitch.
Well, a two-door player, by definition, is a guy that's running, pressing.
There was no pressing.
Okay, because I'm gonna say one thing, because I'm gonna let everybody else talk. But here's the thing that I need like Kamoli and the rest of the freaking Juve board to understand, and for the next coaches, we need a coach that sees a group of players, completely a group of players, and has to utilize them to the best maximal way possible. Like, you can't have like this idea that you're coming in the Italian big 3 and that you're going to usher in your philosophy and expect the players to do well if you don't have this certain set players. Like, if you don't have the players to like do a high press game, then you need to change your game plan. Like, it's the same thing with Motta. It's the same issue I have with Thiago Motta. It's the same even with Giuntoli too, because like he bought in Coop Miners and he wasn't even like a Thiago Motta guy, which regardless, like, our faults with him and everything else. But if you're going to come and coach this club, you need to look at the players and make a realistic approach and slowly build on that.
That's why I would have been 100% fine with Marco Silva or Palladino. And then Kamoli coming out saying, hey, look, this is bad. We're going to take 2 or 3 years to retool and rebuild this thing. I would have been perfectly fine. I would have been perfectly fine with that. But the fact that you extended Tudor and then you're just kind of like, because this is what's irritating me with every new spiff or every new goon that comes into Juve right now. Oh, we're going to make Juve great again. We're going to do this. I'm going to make this club be back to relevancy. Okay, great. How are you going to do that? What's your game plan? How are you going to do this? What are we going to do? We're going to look and try to ask Chiesa to come back because he was fantastic for us the first time?
No.
What are we going to do? Like, seriously, this is where I'm starting to get irritated because it's like, it's all this talk, all this macho bravado, and then it's like, okay, great, there's no substance. It's just, we'll keep
Bullshit.
Tudor, because what are you going to build with Tudor? What is your long-term goal with Tudor? Because he hasn't gone anywhere and stayed 3-4 years and actually built something. Because he's whined, because you want to know why? Last he left Lazio, he threw a hissy fit because Lotito wasn't going to buy him a crap ton of players, and then he left. Guess what's happening right now?
Sorry, almost did that today.
Like, what's going to happen now? Tudor's going to sit there and be like, Kamali's not buying me any players. I'm going to leave. That's why you should have got rid of him. At least with Marco Silva, yeah, he's Portuguese, but at least he knows how to do with what he does at Fulham. Because, sorry, folks, we're not going to compete for the next 2 years. There's no way in hell unless 4 or 5 of these guys have absolute bazonga seasons that have never been seen before. And it's not going to happen.
I think, like I said, as I told Dave earlier, our organization as a whole is like a fucking untied knot. And we're slowly trying to tie them because of all the previous fuck-ups from the previous administration that has snowballed in. Like, I won't even say snowballed. It's like a fucking avalanche that came in from mistakes after mistakes after mistakes, coming from Paratici, from Arrivabene, to Gintoli, now this. And now you got to clean up the mess while trying to figure out who is your next sporting director, who's your next coach. And I felt like I didn't think Kamoli was prepared. I don't think he recognized how big of a mess this was. And then now, like, I think he's got his junk in his hand at the end of the day. And now he's trying to figure out how to fix it. So I feel like that thing with signing Tudor was for him to just kind of get it out of the way and then focus on the next thing, like a sporting director. So pretty much, we're going to crash and then we have to rebuild.
I'm not burning him, right? But it's just based off of the movements and the ideas that he's coming up with. It's just, again, it's like, okay, so you're going to wait a year. So then you're going to, again, wait a year, waste a year of Yıldız's career, waste a year out of other foundational pieces' career that you want to do without having a clear idea, because Tudor fucks it up, he's gone. And then guess what? You're back at zero again.
On one positive end, though, I do think like I'm not saying we're gonna do well, but I do think Yıldız benefits unironically, again, despite of what we think of Tudor. I do think Yıldız is benefiting from his formation unironically. I do think for a little bit, so it might actually help increase his value.
Yeah, but we still have 38 matches of Serie A to play before we even have that idea. Because
you can't judge the last 2 matches before Man City on how well Yıldız is playing either. They were,
Well, against, and I'm not saying about the last 2 matches. I'm talking about in general. Like he was playing a pivotal role in the last matches in the Serie A. He did score, so it was he was scoring some critical goals. Even though he made
I'm with you there, but for that's the only player that we're seeing really benefit from an offensive output standpoint, because we don't even have Conceição, mind you. He's not signed yet.
Nope.
I think
that's another thing that's really pissing me off. Like, how are you going to give Sancho, who hasn't had a decent season in 5 years now? And
Sancho is the equivalent of Berardi. He is not coming. It is just
you're right, but
like it literally is. I don't know why. I don't know why people are upset with it. It's not going to happen.
It doesn't make sense that you're, nickel and dime Porto for like a couple million, but then you want to almost give, the money for Sancho, who isn't half the player.
The problem is Porto wants 40 for him now instead of the original 30.
But they can't get that. That's part of the deal. They have to accept the 30.
Because it was originally it was a handshake agreement or sure for 30, and it looks like Porto wants to push it up to 40.
Well, no, Porto has offers for 40 already.
And here's the other thing. We've already invested 10 million on the loan. So 50 million for Conceição, he better be dropping 15 and 10.
I don't see it. And you know why I don't see it? I like Conceição. I like the player. He's got some like potential. I just don't see it under this coach. Like, he's a winger. He's not gonna play well behind the striker. I just think that's it.
Too small.
He's too small. A and B, he needs to mature better when it comes to decision making. There are times where I see Conceição where he needs to pass the ball, but he decides to shoot it or take on an extra player when he doesn't need to. He's not a central player. As a winger, under Malta made sense. Even last season, when we were thinking about Sancho as a winger under Malta, okay, I might have been okay with the idea. But this, no, absolutely not.
So I think for that price, you're not going to find anyone anywhere close to his talent, someone who could, at least start maybe 15 to 20 matches a year, and it's also has a game-changing capabilities and the super sub qualities. You're not going to find that anywhere else right now. And we've seen the lists of our targets. They're nowhere near what we've seen him do this season. So
No,
what are you going to do?
Dude, Sancho's only good at Dortmund or like the Bundesliga.
He did decent at Chelsea. They won a Conference League.
Yeah. Like I'm not.
Yeah, but he had 3 goals.
The salary wouldn't make sense. That's it. I don't see him accepting a Juve salary.
So prior to Dash and Eddie coming in, I was telling everybody, like, listen, for all the European players, you got 2 options. If you want to compete in the Champions League and you're not wanted by your club, take a pay cut, shut the fuck up, or go play in Saudi. Those are your options. You don't have much. Enough with the agents glazing their players. Like, I understand you got to defend your player, but sometimes you got to be realistic. I'm like, bro, enough is enough. Or have like a prove-it deal where it's bonuses. If you do well, you get bonuses. If not, this is what you get. Something's got to happen.
We have to do the reverse effect on players like Weah, who think they're worth way more than they are and want to go to a Champions League squad rejecting Nottingham Forest. We have these guys who have big egos on their team. We can't have guys who don't want to leave, don't accept the fact that they're bones. Guys like Weah, we had the situation with Dusan not wanting to go. He was supposed to go to Manchester. Was it Manchester or Arsenal 2 years ago? How do you reject that? That doesn't make sense. He doesn't want to. He's content to just stay with us because there's no accountability as opposed to what the media would do to him in England.
For Dusan?
Yeah.
It's because no one's going to pay him what he wants. That's why.
Yeah.
But two seasons ago, he was offered what he makes now.
No, he wasn't offered at Arsenal.
No, he was offered at Chelsea for a swap of
Lukaku. But the Juve fan base protested.
Woo, yeah.
I was actually one of them too, but
Gio's
that
here.
was one of the few things I was wrong about.
What's going on? It's been a while.
It's been a while, man. It's been a while.
He's
But
like,
I
it's
saw you
7
guys on.
He's 7 p.m. on a Friday. I'm getting on this bitch. That's what he said.
Fuck yeah.
Well, we have to talk about our beloved Juventus, right? What
Absolutely.
a fucking shit performance I fucking saw, man. Oh my god.
And
Good thing I didn't go to that game. Jeff, I didn't go to that game. Thank gosh, bro. I mean, I felt bad for you, bro.
Hey, listen,
I felt bad for you.
Hey, you know what? Look, I kind of expected it when I was looking at the reports. I'm thinking, all right, I might as well just enjoy the shithousery before the game with all the fans celebrating and all that. Got to meet the players. It was fun. Nice people.
Did you burn that Dusan picture like I told you to?
Yeah, I did. I'm gonna and honestly, I don't think about burning it. I want to make a meme out of it or something.
I've already burned his shirt already, man. It's already gone, bro. It's
I love it.
I think about it. I'm like, man, I should have. I wanted to have a picture with Dusan next to him where I was doing the Albanian eagle. Like I wanted to.
That was just toxic, and I'm all for it.
But the problem was with the meet and greet of the players, everything happened so fast. Like it was like in an instant. I'm like, oh yeah, here. I didn't even get a chance to meet Kefren Turam. I saw him. The dude looks like a giraffe. I met Tudor, shook his hand, and the guy didn't speak a damn English, like a speck of English. But I met Kalulu, met the Lord Kelly. Nice guys.
Oh,
I was being nice to him because I felt bad, because like he was put in a situation where he shouldn't have been. But
should have told Tudor you suck.
Yeah, no, bro. I was about to say, bro, you should have said when you went up to Dusan, you suck.
Yeah. No, I was gonna just do the Albanian flag or have him sign my Albanian jersey. That would have been even worse. I think one of the guys from the fan club told me that. Like they're like, "Yo, bring your Albanian jersey in."
You know what you should have did? You should have been like, why'd you slip in Tirana, bro?
Oh,
yeah, dude. No.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no. I also got to meet Beppe, too. He was a nice guy.
Yeah, me too.
Super nice guy. Even though we don't agree on every take. But it was fun. It was fun while it lasted. But, the game sucked, but, we enjoyed the best out of it. My friends were Inter fans, so they enjoyed it. They're like, you guys lost 5-0. I'm like, at least we scored 2 goals. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's not as embarrassing.
Nobody's going to remember the match from yesterday 10 years ago, but they're going to remember that Inter match.
That's a fucking final. Come on. I mean, seriously.
Champions League, yep.
Yeah,
but they're chugging along though.
Let them. You know what? We deserve it. Like at this point, I'm like, you know what? Go for it. I was going to talk to Gio. You guys have a pretty wild show there earlier with the whole rest of the fan. I like the Napoli guy. He's a funny guy. I love talking.
Bro. He's bro. I always say he's a comedian, bro. That guy.
Oh, no, he's funny. I like him,
dude.
Yeah, he's definitely a character. I like him. I enjoy talking shit with him. I enjoyed it. Like
you gotta do more, Jeff. You gotta do more, bro. Because that guy, man, he could take the heat, bro. It's like
I like him. I don't know. I got nothing against
it's
him.
good.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, no, exactly, bro.
Right, Jeff's got to open up and just be like, "You Southerners."
You Southerners.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. With like any Napoli fan, like they can like say the meanest shit to me, and whatever goes in 1 year will go out. Like it's so inconsequential. To me, it's like, okay, if I live in a hypothetical world where like Napoli surpasses Juve, right? Like they have more titles than Juve. In a hypothetical world, I would be dead. That's how unlikely it is. So that's why it would never bother me. It's the fact of the matter that they have less titles than a 4th division team in Italy. Like that's a fact. Pro Vitelli is like a 4th division, 3rd division, whatever it is literally they got more titles than Napoli. I just let them get a start.
That's true. But they're making, but that currently they're making more moves than Juventus in the past 5 years.
And here's the other thing: 2 Scudettos in 3 years. That ends the conversation.
Good for them.
Yeah,
no, honestly, good for them. Nothing.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I don't hate them.
Yeah, but they can talk. That's the thing.
They can talk, but it's just still like to me, it's like cute.
Yeah, I get it. But they went from 8th to Scudetto, so like you're just like, well, fuck it.
I'm like, yeah, you're talking crap, but it's to me, it's still inconsequential.
Hey, look, it happens when you win. Does it bother me? No, I don't really care, right? They can have their limelight. It is what it is.
I'm guilty of that myself. I'm an Eagles fan, so like I throw it in the Steelers and Cowboys fans' face, even though they have way more Super Bowls than we do, but they haven't won recently. So I mean, I'm guilty of that.
Yeah, it's just like Carr says: every dog has its day. Every dog has its back shot.
Yep.
I would say, I will tell to every Napoli fan: enjoy it while it lasts. That is all I'm going to say. One thing about the Conte thing. I wanted to say this because though, I would have loved to have him at the same time. I feel like he shafted both clubs because at the end of the day, he's not staying there for a long time. Just keeping that in mind. So enjoy it while
he's getting the players that he wants and he's building a pretty solid squad. I think he might stay a little bit longer.
He will, but he
cucked De Laurentiis into getting him Kevin De Bruyne. I never in my mind would think that would ever happen. Just like how Milan just picked up Modric.
I am pissed. I am pissed at the fact that we didn't go on the De Bruyne. Still to this day, that's blown my mind. At least we're trying to get Jonathan David. I'm not saying he's going to be the best striker, but at least
he'll be 10 times better than Vlahovic, man. Fuck that guy.
That is a much better move than going for Osimhen or fucking Jokeres. Like I'm like, okay, at least that's better.
Jonathan David, 15 million commission with his salary being $5 or $6 million a season. I am perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, he's asking to lower that, so we'll see.
I'm okay with it.
I'm not a fan of David
Abe,
at
is
all.
it close? Is it close now, the deal? Because I'm hearing
no.
Getting out not yet. Is it like the salary?
It's the commission.
It's the commission.
Fucking commission, bro. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Just sign the damn player already. Let's go.
Good. God forbid. Hey, Gio, chill. The agent had to print the paperwork. He deserves $15 million for printing a fucking piece of paper.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Printing a fucking paper, dude. That is the standard? What the
commissions? Come on, agents are glorified lawyers, right?
That's what they
Yeah,
are.
they're
You have to
fucking.
be. You have
They're
to be an
demons, is
attorney.
what I think. They're literal demons nowadays. It's nice to have an agent to defend you, but then there's like some agents like worse than a defense attorney. Like sometimes they come off as worse as defense attorneys.
Like Jonathan David's agent. Or better yet, Doosan's agent. No, Doosan's agent deserves a fucking medal for giving him $22 million gross.
Yeah. I think that's his dad, isn't it, or no? No, I forgot who it was. Who was it? I don't remember. I don't care. Arriva Bene, with that move, snowballed so many problems. That move itself got us Dybala out.
I think that's why. Honestly, I think that's why Elkin doesn't want to spend anymore, because Elkin's like, well, I bought this guy for a fuck ton of money and that didn't work out, so I'm just not going to do this anymore.
I was talking about this
We're not
earlier.
serious anymore, man.
Literally, it's like, you know, like we were talking about stats and like how players are doing good. It's like, it's one thing to look at numbers, right? It's one thing to look at numbers and chuck in numbers. It's another thing to interpret. Like, they're two different things. Like, you got to look at a player's personality. You got to look at a player's like maturity. You got to look at the player. What system did he play under that benefited him? How long has he consistently been good at this? Like, all of these factors got to be put into consideration prior to buy at least an $80 million striker. So to me, when people were saying Gyökeres for $80 million, I'm like, no, bro, he hasn't earned those, like that. He hasn't earned that number.
And everybody else is saying that also.
I mean, based off of how the Portuguese teams did in the Club World Cup, God, fucking Liga NOS' ass.
And the top of the matter, yeah, he did well in the Champions League. Congratulations, but it's not enough.
Guys,
Like,
one season is not a benchmark for a kid to go from sporting to a top club. So I'm kind of curious because I want to get Gio's take on this because he's a young cat. So have you at all heard anything? Because I heard you say that we're not serious, which I agree with you. But like, have you heard or seen anything as far as the team or people on the club saying, yeah, we're rebuilding for the next couple of years? It honestly doesn't sound like that. It looks like this team is just like, fuck it. Yeah, just add one or two guys and we'll compete. Is that the same stuff you're seeing around or nah? Oh, we lost him.
Oh, did we lose him? Yeah.
I think we lost
Yeah,
him.
he's frozen.
The Miami internet. Gosh darn it. No, but
Well,
like,
I
again,
guess we're not getting his opinion.
yeah, we're not getting his opinion. But no, I think the big thing again is where I look at it where it's like, if we were to willingly or openly admit that we need to do a rebuild, it solves 90% of the problems. But the fact that you've got like Tudor, you've got certain people sitting there saying, oh yeah, I just need one or two people to compete. Bro, you have no system. Compete with what? Hopes and dreams?
I don't know. I know that we were trying to get Tavares from is it Tavares, if I'm correct? Correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
from Lazio. That he wanted him as like the wing back position to run back and forth.
We have enough, and this is where again where I think Tudor is an absolute buffoon. You have enough fullbacks / wingbacks at the position. You do not have ball playing players because Tudor's just hoping that we spam the ball out wide. That's literally what his MO is. Spam the ball out wide. Hopefully something goes in. That's honestly what it is. Because how are you going to build from the middle with what? With Locatelli? With Thuram? As much as I like Thuram's not a creative midfielder.
No,
you have no creative. Gio, you back, buddy?
Yeah, bro. I don't know what the hell just happened, bro. But
internet, baby.
internet, man.
Tudor, he heard you and he cut your internet.
Yeah.
No, Kamoli heard you.
It must have been Elcon, bro. Must have been maybe Cannoli. I
I
call
don't
him
know.
Cannoli now.
I call him Cannoli. I had a.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys heard my my little rant, my little Trump imitation at the Discord. I was making fun of Giuntoli.
Yeah. Trump gave us a meme of a lifetime by saying they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Oh, he's full of memes.
No.
He's on fire.
Our management don't know what the hell they're doing.
No, yeah, Gio, go for it, buddy, because you haven't been able to give your thing. Because I heard you say that we're not serious. I 100% agree with you, but I kind of want to get your take on it.
Listen, man, I just feel like that we need a whole new ownership. Elcon's got to go for me.
Yeah,
fuck yeah.
This proves it, and I hope that this game. And listen, Tudor, listen, yes, he's an ex-Juventus player, right? Supposed to be a legend, but this is not what you do, right? But this shows because I think Elkan was at the game. Jeff, I don't know if you saw him, right? Was he at the game?
He was.
I
He
thought
was.
he was, but I didn't see
I
him.
hope he was watching every single goal that was going in. You know,
Yeah.
I hope he was just watching it because seriously,
Kamoli was watching it on TV.
Oh boy.
I hope they're all watching it, bro. Because at the same time, man, it all starts from the top. If you think about it, the top has to go. You know, and then after that, you know, you go from Giuntoli to Kamoli. You know, it looks like now it's becoming like a cannoli. So I don't know, man. At the same time, it's like I want somebody with at least ambition. I know a lot of probably Juve fans are not gonna like my suggestion or like they're not gonna like my take, but I would take back Agnelli. Get back Agnelli.
Why would I not? Why would I be against that?
Bro, get back Agnelli.
Another
Because
year
listen,
for that.
call a couple guys for that the Saudi investors, whatever he has supposedly, get them in. Because if we don't we're not an ambitious club anymore.
No.
We have to realize that.
Or better
What
yet,
have we done in 5 years? 5
absolutely
seasons.
nothing.
What have we done?
Absolutely
Zero.
nothing.
So for all the Juventus fans, you know, that have been saying, "Oh, Juve this, the Juve, we're gonna win the Scudetto next season." Stop that! Stop that! Stop that now! Stop that now!
Not
Stop
even
that
top
now.
4.
We're not even listen. In my, I said this in my other shows, and I say this on other people's shows now with this current Juventus. I said next season, I don't even see us potentially after what I just saw going into the top 4, the Champions League. I don't even see us getting. Nope, I don't.
Definitely not now. I mean, I thought it even before, and that was before, you know, the whole thing where we now had, 3 weeks and we didn't make one move yet.
Well, we don't have that pull anymore. Eddie, we don't have that pull anymore, man.
Yeah, we're
I mean?
not considered the top cream of the crop, even in Serie A anymore. Now they want to go to Napoli. They want to go to Inter. They want to go to even the Milan before they want.
I don't think they want to go anywhere in Italy, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, really.
De Bruyne came here.
Well,
hey, give Mana some credit. He's been doing work.
Mana, but that's the thing. That's something that Juventus hasn't been doing for 5 seasons. Juventus will come back eventually because that's how Juventus is in the Serie A. But because I was even having a conversation with the Napoli fan, Jeff, right?
Yeah.
You know, we were off camera. We were talking about it. And he even says that, you know, that they need to enjoy this now because they even know that themselves that Juve will come back eventually.
You know what's ironic?
The matter thing is when.
Bro?
The
irony? They're using Juve products to win.
to win.
All for what it is.
That's what Inter did.
That makes us look stupid, to be honest with you.
That doesn't matter. I'm just throwing shit in there. I don't know.
But it's true though, right? So you had Mano, who is effectively like a successor to Motta and Paratici. And guess what he's doing? He's doing really well at Napoli. Beppe Marotta, who's done well at Inter. Say what you want about the 5-0, but that's 2 Champions League finals in 3 years.
Let's not forget they might add Chiesa.
Oh man.
Yeah, we gotta let this Chiesa thing go, man.
I gave up on that chapter.
Cherubini said himself, he's like, dude, he's not gonna stay here long. He's only here for a contract and then he's out.
Brother,
because here's why I don't acknowledge Chiesa. Chiesa before his season ended, before Max left, because I know Chiesa likes to throw the blame on everyone but himself because he's a master at doing that. He was given a year and a half to sign an extension, rejected it, all of it. Excuses. I want to see who the new coach is. I don't want Allegri to be the coach. I want this. I want that. Guess what? Motta comes in, says you're trash. See you later. Oh no, I got frozen out. Guess what?
Do you think Motta exited him out, or was it a Giuntoli?
No, it was Giuntoli. 100% Giuntoli.
Yeah.
100% Giuntoli. Because here's
Motta had to say in it also. He said he didn't fit as well as other players. He didn't think fit like McKennie originally didn't fit with him either. Loca didn't fit with him either. Now that they stayed, but Chiesa went.
His issue was he was too big. His head was too big for where he was at. You were out for an ACL injury. You had a mediocre comeback season, and you were trying to get a raise. You've lost your mind. If he was smart, he would have taken, hey, I'll take the same salary for an additional year, which was offered to him, by the way. He didn't take it because he wanted to see who the coach was. Because wham, Max. But guess what? He wants to go to Milan, where Max is. Isn't that ironic?
Is it I'm starting to recognize these like younger players. Maybe I'm an unk for saying this, but like it's like you're seeing like somebody that's like not as attractive, and they go like, what type of person you're looking for, and they have these like insane standards, and they can't literally lower their expectations at the same time.
It's an entitled generation now.
Yeah. It's like these brain rot podcasts, though they put people in the spot, and then it's like Chiesa reminds me one of them. Same thing with Dusan, which Dusan was just like a robbery. I think that just was a finesse. I can't even, like, as much as I hate him because he sucks, but like at the same time I can't even blame him. He's in the perfect position because he's gonna get 12 million salary, and then whether he plays or not, it doesn't even matter to him because once he's out of the club, he can pick whatever he wants.
Yeah, and he's only 24.
So it's
That's why they should have frozen him out of the squad just so they could tank his value on purpose. They should have given him the Cardi treatment.
I hope they do, but they're not going to do it.
They won't, because Tudor simps for him.
Yeah, no, I don't like that either from Tudor.
I don't know. I would
He's not a coach. He's not a coach. I'm sorry. He's not a coach. He's a fitness trainer.
No, he looks like a bodyguard, like for a Russian.
Yeah, bodyguard. Yeah, I was going to say that.
He's a Balkan fitness trainer. That's what he is.
I need like 2 rounds. I need you to pick 2 bricks of Coke and then drink 2 shots of vodka for break. That's what it is. Yeah. No, I don't.
Dusan is going to say the same exact shit Delit said. And guess how Delit's doing right now?
Yeah. We made a lot of mistakes.
Is Delit still at Man U?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
With Onana as his goalkeeper.
Good God.
So he doesn't have a good goalie to bail him out of his stupid defensive gaffes.
Good God. That's gotta hurt.
Man.
That's gotta hurt.
Have fun. That's all I can say to Delit is have fun requesting to leave to go play more exciting offensive football. How's that working for him?
I mean, you can go to Marseille with the Zerbi. You can go play there.
He could.
Yeah, he could. Exciting. It's exciting, and it's a heart attack, and it's high blood pressure ball. It's like the same thing I say for Barcelona's was it Hansi Flick. It's the same thing, except they got good players. But I mean, you mean Yamal, but that's it. Yeah. So it's the thing. Can I give Kamoli one advice? And I would just say simply, just read The Art of the Deal, and you will be winning, and you will win a lot. So much that you're gonna get tired of winning, and that's it.
Oh shit! I forgot to do sticky note tactics for Sal. I'll do it on another stream because literally, it's not even a sticky note tactic. This is a business card. Business card. I suck. Igor Tudor, 69, 69, 69, 69. Trash lane. Anyways, kids, I gotta run. So, any last questions for me before I bounce?
Who would be your coach if we get rid of Tudor? Who would you pick?
Palladino, give him 3 years.
Okay, we're on the same boat. Sounds good.
That's
if you want to go for Italian, you pick Palladino. You give him 3 years, and you tell him, "Hey, get as high as you can on the table."
Yeah.
As long as we can see progressive adoption of a system and players being integrated and built, I'm perfectly fine with it.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Hopefully we do it. Hopefully we get Agnelli back, but we'll see.
No, you should get the Tether owner. Apparently he's going to buy a fuck ton more shares so he can be on the board.
Really?
At least he cares.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. I feel like
he doesn't care
is he
enough
like
to
a
say we
crypto
only had
local, like
36
a Juve
students.
coin or something.
Yeah, he went up to 10.47, so he's the second highest shareholder behind Elkin.
Shit.
Yep, but I mean, they're keeping him out of the boardroom because that's how Italians do things. They keep best.
Well, and that's what irritates me is because he's like, hey, you know, do you need help financing shit? Because I can help you because I actually care. And Elkin and Exor are like, no, it's okay. I'll just drink my. They're it's funny. They run Juve like Ferrari runs their pit. Like, hey, do you guys have anything? Do you guys want me to do anything? No, we'll get back to you. It's
Well,
literally
that's a
what
big
this is.
reflection. That's
Why?
a big reflection. That's
But
a big
why?
reflection, man, on Elcon, bro.
It is.
Ferrari and Juventus, they're both doing bad.
But they are winning the WEC, so I mean, they're
Yeah,
not
that's
all
true.
completely shit.
Well, I mean, listen, I mean, at the same time with Juventus, bro, but you saw the pattern I'm saying, Dave. You know what I'm saying? With Ferrari and Juve. You know
No,
what I mean?
it's just they're worried more about the
Marketing.
image. The marketing of it, right? They're running it like a business, but it's a sports team. And
you know, this is
can't do
my last. Here's my last jab because this is kind of funny. So you know they are focusing on the marketing. They're doing this Juve Village and all this other bullshit. You know that they can't afford to put Tia and Beppe on the sideline. They give them some of the shittiest seats in the stadium. Because I know where they were sitting in DC and the other stadiums too. Like I've had people tell me.
In Philly, they were in the club box.
Yeah, they're in the callbacks, yeah.
But like with DC, they were on this. They weren't even. Yeah, a club box. They should not be on the touchline. Like, shouldn't Juve not be able to get them at least first row seats on the touch?
you know they don't care about.
I know, but
creators.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying like they're trying to do marketing, but they can't even do that correctly.
Listen,
Sucks.
they know who's Tia and Beppe. Honestly, like not to shit on them, but like in the grand scheme of things, I mean, who
They're
are they?
nobodies. I mean, nobody other than Juventus fans, and that's only maybe 10% of us know who Tia is.
And I only know who Tia is because I like to hate on her because I think that shit's ridiculous. Like I don't know her for good reasons.
Wait,
I seen her.
actually?
I seen her in Philly, and she doesn't look as good in person either.
There you go.
Wait.
God damn.
But like, who is this person? I have no idea.
She did that stupid song.
Yeah. Remember, right? A Juve Coming to America song thing, bro. I was looking at that. I'm like,
Nice.
shit. This is what Juve has become.
It is.
Well,
Fucking hell.
I'm
like, wake up. I'm like, let's go. Smell the coffee here. Wake up, man.
I've heard a lot of the marketing. You know, I want to like dive into this as a whole footballing perspective on the marketing, which is kind of pissing me off. Again, this is probably why I'm an unk, but
no, you're not. I'm older than you.
Because
There you go. I dropped my shitstorm. I'm out of here, kids. I'll see you guys
Later, Dash.
Later, Dash.
I'm gonna say one more thing before I leave about this, like this whole perspective on the marketing aspect of the game, because I've heard like we need to become more modern, we need to be more offensive, we need to bring more like exciting soccer so we can make it so we can advertise it to the world. I feel like they're trying. I feel like what Infantino, and this is starting from FIFA, I feel like Infantino, right, is what he's trying to do is he's trying to advertise to Americans, which I think it's
exactly. I mean, that's why
stupid.
I never heard of this Ben Black guy until 2 weeks ago, and this guy's fucking all over every Juventus feed.
And the thing is like, oh, we need to be more modern. We need to be more attacking, which I don't think it's the case. We never need to do anything. Don't fix stuff that is not broken. And I say this, and I think Italians should not like apply this logic as well, because like I understand the notion where this is coming from. I was like, I wanted to quote Andy Reid, the Kansas City Chiefs coach. He said this
former Eagle coach also.
Yeah, he said it perfectly. He said, "Offense fills the stands, defense wins championships."
Oh yeah,
keep that in mind. And the point of the matter is that we have become so profit profit motive to the point where we're kind of destroying the brand of what football was about, passion and about supporting your club. And now it's becoming just like, oh, we need to play attacking football so we can fill in more stands and try to get the Americans to come in because it's more profitable, which
it's not going to happen. I mean, listen, you have the highest profile player from America on Milan, and nobody in America gives a shit about watching Serie A because of Milan. It's not going to happen.
No, and that's the thing. It's like you're not gonna do things based on. You're not gonna attract fans based on attacking football. You're gonna attract fans based on winning. You look at City. They're not saying, "Oh, City plays beautiful football." I guarantee you, I don't think it has to do with the fact that they play beautiful football. It's the fact that Guardiola is a winner. May not be everybody's favorite coach, but
they don't always play beautiful football, though. That's the thing. They adjust tactics for the situation, just like Madrid.
Yeah, even Madrid, yes. I hate them. I despise them. I detest them, but it's the truth.
Yeah, well, I got news for you, Jeff. That's our next opponent, man. And I was like,
too bad. We're gonna. I mean, if we don't fix our defense like that anytime soon, which unfortunately we're not, we're gonna get spanked. Like, get it out of the way. I don't care. Whatever it is, what it is. If we win, that's a positive. If we don't, I'm not gonna put expectations.
So you could have all the fashion icons, the YouTube streamers. They're trying to bring in fans. Only winning brings in fans, and that goes all the way back to myself in '94 when I became a Juve fan after the success of the '94 World Cup, and then you had generations after with each World Cup, 98, 2002, they became Juve fans because they liked the players on good Italian squads. Especially 40 years ago when we won the Euro. A lot of people loved Bonucci and Chiellini and Chiesa, and they became Juve fans because of that. Winning,
because we won. I agree. I do think on the YouTube scale things, I think there are some positives though for content creators in general, including this channel, including Bepe's and the AJC.
But they're fans.
We may not always agree on everything, but I have to give Beppe the credit where credit is due. If I didn't see his channel, I probably wouldn't have seen this channel. So it was a pipeline. And then if I didn't go to the
feed,
I'm not talking about content creators like this channel.
I mean, the marketing,
I'm talking about the Ben Blacks, having I show speed and all that. That's all bullshit.
Yeah, that is bullshit. I'm just saying, to one positive aspect of the Juve content creators, on one thing, it has brought us together. We wouldn't have known who we were if it wasn't for the YouTube, the YouTube space.
So I agree with that. But
I also the credit because he also introduced me to the fan club. He was the one that told me to go join a fan club and told me, there's Orlando fan club, go in there.
But people like myself, we found this podcast because we were already Juve fans. You're not going to find some guy on YouTube going through putting makeup on a boy or looking at cars or looking at unsolved mysteries. All of a sudden, what's the show to dive? Let me watch this. And then after 5 minutes, they're going to become a Juve fan just because of that. It's not going to happen.
Did you see that Lando Norris video then? Is that the one with boys getting makeup? Must have seen that Lando Norris video.
No, I'm just speaking in general because my one cousin, his kid was on YouTube and then he was watching a bunch of video game shit, and then all of a sudden the next thing it would show a little boy showing how to put on makeup and he fucking threw his iPad out.
Well, I gotta be honest, bro. Brother, it's the internet. That is one negative problem with the internet. There is unimaginable amounts of slop and brain rot starting from YouTube. It can go to Twitch, it can go to Twitter, especially Twitter. Boy, is there fucking brain rot there.
TikTok is
brain rot everywhere.
They're all bad.
Yeah, it's brain rot.
And you know what? At the end of the day, it just depends on what your algorithm pushes towards you, right? Because, man, once you get the rot grows, right? The algorithm lures you in and pretty much destroys anything that you ever want to watch. It's all just brain rot. I get you.
Oh yeah,
How it works.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I laugh at this. To me now, it's just like I'm collecting memes more than I used to collect trading cards as a kid. That's what I do now. That's all my whole thing on internet is just look at memes and just laugh and then like troll my friends. That's it. It's just like a warfare of trolls. That's all it is. As I progressively graduate nursing school in about a year, so I need memes to keep me sane. And I'm gonna lose my shit. That's the whole thing. So,
Well,
yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna head out, guys, because I'm gonna go to a hookah lounge, enjoy my night and everything. So yeah.
all right. It is a Friday night, so
I
do
got my
appreciate you
I got
stopping
my
by.
own hookah lounge here, so I'm good.
There you go.
I'll come to Philly one day. I'll come visit Philly. So
It's a great city.
I'm pretty sure I'll have fun.
Well,
But yeah.
I mean, all the people that visited from like the AJC, they thought it was like just so great how we have like everything congregated around all the stadiums. We have 3 stadiums right there. We have a big facility, you know, where the meetup was. There's even a casino next door. Like, there's no other city for sporting events than Philly.
Fair enough. I'll stay away from the casino. I'll stay away from that.
That is always a good suggestion. I
A
do not recommend.
Balkan and gambling do not go well. It's like a nuclear explosion.
Well, my Albanian friend was pretty good at that casino.
Oh, I know. I know Albanians, and I know that's like cookies and milk. Like literally, that's the kind of relationship Albanians and casinos have. That's what it is.
So we got smoking on screen. We got the casinos. Man,
don't let me flash my
X-rated.
gun again.
But you guys take care.
Later,
Thank you
Jeff.
for having me on. Have a good one.
See ya.
All right. Now, then there was 2. All right. Well, I mean, now that we have a little bit more peace and quiet here, not to shit on the other guys, of course. But was there anything specific or just more yelling that we need to do here?
No, not really.
Not really.
Not really.
I mean, listen, what more can we do? What more can we do? I mean, it's up to the team now. It's up to the management. You know, we're most likely going to get smoked by Madrid, but it is what it is.
I got like called by Juve 3 times the past 2 weeks asking why I don't renew my season tickets again yet. And I just basically discussed my displeasure with the way this squad's been ran the past few years. I mean, I know eventually I'm going to renew them anyway, but I'm just, doing this out of principle.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Vincenzo's asking, what's Xfinity exactly? That's one of the stadiums, right?
No, Xfinity is actually it's the brand that Comcast, the cable, but they own this thing Xfinity Live. It came out in 2012. It's a big kind of bar village area. Right outside the stadium
they had like
districts. Baltimore
was restaurants,
the first
bars,
to do it. And it's where the old Philadelphia Spectrum is.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no place like it. I mean, even like when I had my one cousin from Italy come here 10 years ago, and she's seen it. She's like, we don't have anything like this in Italy. No,
they don't. It's starting to come around a bit more in Canada as well. And Vincenzo, I think from Toronto, right? Toronto has started doing it. It's just so hard to get downtown. I've never been to Philly, but where I first saw it was in Tucson. Where I
met a couple of cool guys from Toronto at the Philly event there. Francesco and Brian, they were pretty cool guys.
I have no idea.
Well, they might be watching, so
Oh, maybe. I mean, if you're watching, give a shout out. Let us know. But the Well. Oh, the Well in Toronto. No, that's like a shopping type thing.
They're actually putting that here also. They're putting a big shopping center right in that whole area.
And that's the thing. It's a district. Like it's an entire district where there will be, say, like the college ball stadium. You might have a hockey rink. You might have a footy field, whatever. You have these different fields, but then there's just like the strip. And I don't know, Philadelphia, I'm guessing it's pedestrian only. Like there's no traffic or anything going through there.
No, there is, but it's not that bad, actually, believe it or not. Yeah.
Okay.
There's easy access from New Jersey, from south to Delaware. It's very easy access, and actually, we had like a big like controversy here about a couple of months ago because the 76ers, who don't own their arena, they have to pay rent to the Flyers who own their arena. They wanted to put one in downtown Philadelphia, and everyone was like, "That's going to be a nightmare to get to. There's way too much traffic." The majority of the people who go to the Sixers games come from the suburbs. They weren't going to drive down there, so now they're probably going to put their arena in that whole area as well. So, and along with that, and then there's also a park that was part of the World's Fair back in like 1908 or something like that. It's right next to the stadium that a lot of people tailgate at. Yeah, like barbecues out there, and so it's like the biggest like sports it's going to be nuts here in the World Cup next year. I mean, this city was mobbed the last week and a half with the Club World Cup, and you've seen the stadiums; they weren't even full. You know, I mean, last night with Real Madrid here, that stadium had it was almost filled to capacity. But like when the World Cup's here, it's going to be a nightmare here, and I only live like basically a 5-minute walk from the stadiums, so it's going to be nuts. I know people like there's this new app that's like all the rage. It's called like Park Here, where you can like sell your parking spot in your driveway. Yeah. It's and like I have like a couple like family and friends who live close to the stadiums. They were getting like $200 for their driveway to park in.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You can only imagine what the World Cup's going to bring here.
Yeah. Oh, I would do that if I owned a place down there. Absolutely. Why not?
Airbnb people who are going to Airbnb their house are like chopping at the bit because they're already seeing like maybe $3,000 a night.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially if you don't even care to watch it, you just go go out of town, spend some time with the family, or even if you have to get a hotel in some like shit town out of the city, you're still making money.
Yeah, let's just hope Italy could somehow qualify. I mean, it's pretty much guaranteed now that we're going to have to do a playoff round because Norway has so much, of a goal differential ahead of us that, we need them to slip up against one of them teams that they're going to destroy anyway. So we're basically already content to second place now in that group. That'll be 3 straight World Cups we miss.
Could be. That's a whole other podcast though, Eddie. Oh man. Yeah, that is whole. There's depressing things. Let's just hope that Austria does well for Dave's sake as well, because he is there. Again, if you guys haven't seen the shorts yet on the channel, Dave's got some stuff from F3, F2, F1, and the Porsche Supercar Series. So,
nice.
Definitely check that out.
I haven't been to a Formula 1 race since 2000 now.
I still haven't gone. I was thinking, I'm going to go to Montreal next year. Why not? And then I'm like, I got to still figure out how to get to the World Cup next year. Going back to the World Cup. Yeah.
Where does Canada play their first 3 group stage matches? I know they're all in Canada, but I forget.
I think they play in Vancouver, though. They might play one in Toronto, and I'm going to go to Toronto, obviously, because I can drive there, and I have parents to bum off of. Instead of a lot cheaper.
The USA, I know, has 2 in California, and I think the other one's in Texas. But I don't care about the USA. I just, want to see Italy play, and hopefully they do.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even know, and that's the thing, right? I'd want to see Canada or Italy play, and I might not even see either one. I'm gonna watch like Ivory Coast versus Costa Rica, or something ridiculous, right? Yeah, we'll see. I'll take what I can get, honestly. And if I can't get tickets for whatever reason, damn it, I'll just go to the Montreal Grand Prix.
Speaking of that, I'm actually going to go to the Botafogo Palmeiras match tomorrow.
Oh, that will be good.
Well, you know why it's going to be good? Take a guess.
Because they're South Americans.
Yeah, the women there. I'm going
The
there
women.
just for
Oh,
that.
no.
It's gonna be a bunga. It's gonna be a Miss Bum Bum contest there.
Oh boy.
So whatever. I mean, the tickets are only $50. I want to go there.
For $50, I'm in. Oh, it's cheaper than going to the strippers, I suppose.
I don't go to strip clubs. I go to swinger clubs.
Yeah, well, I guess. Well, you're just like the third wheel then? You just like show up as third wheel? Is that how that works?
No, I have like 3 different girlfriends. Well, but they're really friends with benefits, and I just take them there. That way you don't care, like if they're fucking other guys, because you get to fuck some other guy's wife.
I guess. That's how that works, sure.
Yeah. It's been doing that for 5 years now. My record is 13 in one night.
Jesus Christ. Well, this podcast always devolves into something ridiculous when you're on, Eddie. So thank you for that.
I have a good life, despite working 70 hours a week.
Oh, fuck. That is a lot. You got to enjoy yourself.
Oh,
All right. On that note, guys, is there anything else you want to sign off with, or any last comments?
Yeah, not really, except for I think, we're going to lose the Real. That's a given, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as this past match. And I think that's why Tudor put out that shit lineup. He was like, all right, well, listen, let's rest Scotti, rest Cambiaso, rest Yildiz.
There's no way to know.
Try to put up a fight.
Yeah, there's nowhere to. I mean, we could have been playing Ali, whatever, one of the Al teams. That would have been a lot easier, but whatever.
I believe it would have been Flamengo.
Oh man.
No, Madrid's playing Al Hilal, of course. The fucking Ronaldo team.
Oh man.
The ex-Ronaldo team. I just saw a post from him. Did he re-sign?
Yeah, he re-signed with Al Nassr. Yeah.
Al Nassr. Okay. Yeah, I just saw. It didn't even say. It was just him doing, I don't know, Ronaldo, just showing his face and nothing covering it because he's too beautiful to do that. All right. Well, Gio, it was great seeing you again.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's been a while.
Great.
Definitely should do it more often, but we always say that, and then this happens.
Yep. Had to pop in, bro.
Absolutely. And if you guys don't know, Juve Cornercast, check him out on YouTube as well. Another bro in the community, right? This is it. You guys are seeing each other in person while I'm just here in Canada being a bum.
I think I've seen, because Eddie looks so familiar. I think he probably walked past me a couple of times during the Philly game.
Maybe. There's probably a lot of guys in Philly that look like him.
You were with Berto, right?
Yeah, I saw Berto there. Of course, I saw Beppe there. I was mostly with the AJC guys.
I was wearing a Panucci jersey during match day.
You were with Sal. I saw Sal. I was
Yeah. I was with Sal.
I saw Sal there. Yeah, I saw him there.
Oh, that's cool. That's pretty fun seeing the community actually come together like that, right? I'm a little jealous that I wasn't there.
Oh, it was good to see everyone from all over the world meet up, in my own city, they're all Juve fans. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, for that to happen. That'll probably never happen again until maybe another 30 years if the USA gets a World Cup and Juve happens to be in the Club World Cup the year before. But, this will never happen again.
No, probably not. Nor will I have 3 guests on that have actually been to the games in the past week. Well, the 2 guys that run the channel haven't seen shit. So,
well, you had me from Torino a couple of times.
Oh no. Well, fuck, it's great. Anyways, I'm just hearing your stories and being able to just tell everyone else the story, and it's just fun. It's just fun. This is the community. I love it. I'm living vicariously through y'all right now as I yell at the television screen.
Gio, was that your first Juve match you've been to, or have you been to other ones?
No, I've been to a couple. But since the start of my channel, I just it was like the first time I was doing like a vlog, stuff like that. Doing all this recording, bro. I think my whole story just went kapooey, bro, because of all the videos I had to take. But
yeah,
did you ever go to Torino for a match?
At the moment, no, only in the States.
You have to go to like a real match there. There's nothing like it.
Yeah, I know. I know we're trying, but at the moment, Juventus, with the team, we kind of suck. But
You don't wanna spend all the money.
Just
Well,
imagine, right? I
I
go to a Torino match, right, Eddie? And then all of a sudden we go there, we just to lose, just to lose.
Well,
I'll lose my shit.
I have season tickets. How do you think I feel? I have to fly all the way from Philly, to go to the
Man.
matches, and then I went to that Stuttgart match, was ruined the whole fucking.
Oh my
trip.
gosh, bro, Stuttgart.
Yeah,
I still remember that.
That was the beginning of the end for the season for me because we got the own goal victory against Lazio, and then came that Stuttgart match, which was a disaster. And then after that, it was the Parma draw. Now I thought we were going to turn it around that next match because I wound up going to the San Siro for that 4-4 draw, which was the greatest game I probably ever attended. And we didn't turn it around.
Yeah.
So and then I didn't go to another match at all after that last year. I only went to 7 matches last year.
Wow. That's insane. Oh man.
Yeah, I'm not going to spend $1,000 on a plane ticket and hotels with the way this past season went.
Only if Juve gets back to winning, then I'll consider going to Turin.
Well, it's just still good just to go. I mean, listen,
Of course.
I have season tickets, so
true.
just get in touch with me, and I could just give you one of mine for the matches I don't attend.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Thumb off each other. That's how you do it. You just y'all gotta get in together and just share the tickets. Timeshare.
There you go.
Well, the season tickets are already $700. It's not like I'm spending.
Oh, that's not that bad.
Nah.
No.
Plus, I'm basically actually they're money makers because I sell the ones I obviously can't go to because I live in the USA and you actually make money off of them.
Yeah, that's decent then. And then you can spend that on another $50 to go watch a bunch of South Colombian ladies instead of an actual soccer match.
Yeah, this match is actually it's still $50. Cost twice as much as a Juve season ticket match cost. It only comes to $27.
Jeez, 27. Definitely not in America, not those prices.
Yeah, I know. And they complain in Italy how Italians are real cheap. They think that the tickets are expensive over there. I'm like, you kidding me? No. For a baseball game, there's 81 home games a year. You're lucky if you can get a ticket for under $100. That's not counting the concessions. Because you two have never been to a match in Italy.
I went to the Empoli match. It was Juve Empoli.
All right, so if there's one thing you noticed about North American fans and Italy fans, they don't spend a nickel in that stadium.
No.
I literally ran from my seat when a player went down from an injury and got a beer and came back to my seat before that. They finally recovered. They don't buy any beer. They don't buy any concessions. They're cheap. Even the freeloaders and the bars and cafes, they'll sit in the bar and cafe because they don't want to pay for cable themselves, and they'll sit there and watch the match and not even buy a beer or anything.
Mm-hmm.
One time I was in Napoli and I watched the Napoli Lazio match on a big screen TV, just because I wanted to watch it. And I'm not, obviously not a Napoli fan. I'm the only one spending money there. There was all these, the whole neighborhood came to watch and freeload off this guy's big screen TV, and not one person bought one thing.
Yeah, they are cheap bastards, especially in the South. That's for sure.
Yeah, especially
more even in Empoli. I mean,
if you walk by the betting parlors there, you'll just see a bunch of people watching there outside. For the ones that have the TVs outside, they'll have that. They'll have a TV outside under very dirty plexiglass, and they'll just sit there and watch that because they don't want to pay the money to pay for cable over there.
Yeah, the $2, the €2 coffees. You just keep on throwing those back, and then you can't get kicked out of the cafe, right? If you always have a $2 coffee going.
Yeah, well, no, they love me. I just do nothing but pound Negronis and beers everywhere.
Yeah, well, when you show up, it's a different story.
Yeah. That's the American quality. I mean, I drink a lot.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I noticed that too. I don't know, I didn't get wasted, but I had maybe 4 beers at the match. I got there super early, so I mean, I was there for 4 hours. Like, yes, 4 beers, like that's nothing. And they were, I don't know, maybe €5. It's not like here where they're like $16 or however much they go for these days, right? So
they're $18 at the stadium in Philly.
Jeez, yeah, just stupid.
But it's really like a huge beer. It's really like 2 beers you're getting, so it's not really that bad actually. You go to a bar or anything like that here for the amount of ounces you're paying like 3 times more.
Well, it's all just to get your fucking money. So $50 to watch a bunch of Colombians, not so bad.
Yeah, it's
or Brazilians, whatever. Yeah, Brazilians. Sorry,
it doesn't matter. It's just gonna be ass all over that stadium.
Oh shit! Well, let us know. I mean, just get some pictures, some video, whatever. Post it up.
I already heard that from all my friends. No, I'm going. Their wives ain't letting them go. They already know what's up. Like, there's no way you're going to that. Like, they don't even follow the sport, but they, automatically heard 2 Brazilian teams, and there's going to be women there. Like, like they're going to be like rushing towards all my married friends for no reason at all.
Well, your married friends are desperate. Obviously, they need a luck. They need a peek.
Yeah, but I mean, we have enough hot women just every day walking down the street here.
Yeah, but they're not Brazilians. Come on. Nothing with an ass like that.
I gotta tell you nothing. The Moroccan women from the Weed Dad convention, they were freaking smoking hot too. You've seen them, right?
No, yeah, of course. You're gonna see them. I think you're gonna see them everywhere.
we were at Xfinity when they did the big parade walking by with the flares.
Yeah, with the flares. Yeah.
Almost every single girl that walked by was smoking hot.
Smoking hot. There you go.
And they were real nice and friendly, like they were like high-fiving us. It wasn't like they weren't talking shit like none of their fans. Like they were, they knew that they were gonna lose, but they were, all waving high. They were, really nice people.
Liquor does funny things to a person.
No, I don't
even makes you nice sometimes.
They're Muslims. I don't think they drink.
Oh, maybe, yeah, it's true. I don't know. You never know. It depends. It all depends. Okay, well, I'm not going to get into religious talk and whether they will or will not be drinking liquor.
They know how to hide flares on their crotches, though.
Well, yeah, those jammies that they wear, the loose clothing. Whatever, good for them. They absolutely set the place on fire. It was smoky as hell, at least from the television screen. So, I mean, whatever. They don't know. It's America. They don't know that that's not allowed around here.
Well, it is allowed in some states. Pennsylvania, it's not.
Yeah, because that's a northeastern state.
Because I know, like Portland and Portland Timbers in the MLS, they light flares off in their stadium, I believe, and there's a couple other ones, but it's a PA state law that you can't light flares off in the stadiums or any kind of sparklers or anything like that. But the fans snuck them in, so now the Eagles fans, they better step up their game when this season starts.
Mm.
All right, guys. Well, we are getting to that point of the night. Every time I try to say goodbye, it doesn't work.
All right, I'll just sign off and give you the benefit of the doubt. Ciao.
I'm not kicking you off. I just got to play the music. He left anyways. But it was hard saying goodbye. He kept on going.
Yeah.
It was fun. We haven't done this in a while. Thank you as well, Gio.
Of course, bro.
Been a long time for everyone, probably because I haven't done one of these in a long time, so it's my fault. All right, on that note, like, subscribe, hit all the socials down in the description, and catch you on the next one. Good night.